I think we've been working on this thing for 4+ years. A lot of hard work from the people in attendance here and countless others that aren't here today. So I appreciate everyone's efforts. We are very proud at Scannell to be at the cutting edge. Some very tectonic changes in our industry with zero emission vehicles and delivery fleets.
And how about this beautiful piece of machinery here behind us, right? I want to assure everybody here that the ironworkers and the building trades are going to be partnering with everybody that's willing to partner with us to build the infrastructure necessary to power these vehicles. So good morning, my name's Jason Lindsay. I'm President and Business Agent of Ironworkers Local 378, and I'm here this morning on behalf of the Contra Costa Building and Construction Trades Council, which represents 35,000 of the hardest working men and women in Contra Costa County. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Scannell Properties for partnering with the building trades to get this project built. For years, we have heard that projects like this cannot be done with union labor. Well, Scannell says it can be done and will be done paying local workers, family supporting wages and benefits.
Happy to be here today with you as City North Richmond and Contra Costa County take the next step in the journey to lead us in the energy transition. Chevron wants to be a part of that. We look forward to partnering with Scannell and Overall and building trades to get this project going and to develop lower emissions, lower carbon energy solutions like the one you see behind us today. The machine by Cummins behind us today is an important step, and it consumes hydrogen, and we make hydrogen, and we want to supply the hydrogen through various spots locally. As Supervisor Joy mentioned, we announced we're gonna supply hydrogen through 30 of our Chevron gas stations throughout the state within 4 years, including one just about right across the street, a couple blocks down the road, where we're going to have the Chevron Energy Plaza.
We're on an old vacant office building that they owned. They are building with funding from the county a 54-unit permanent supportive housing project for previously unhoused individuals. That's our solution, is permanent housing with services, and Overall is constructing that project in a partnership with the county. But you've built so many public works projects around the Bay Area as well as private, and you also employ 100% union labor. We appreciate that. So just to acknowledge your work over the decades. And there's your office right there, North Richmond, across the street, right there. And I'm going to call up the Vice President of Overall Construction, Doug Esplin.
Thank you, Supervisor Joya. So a lot's been said today, so I'll take a chance to summarize it. We really appreciate the commitment from Contra Costa County and all the synergies that are created with the City of Richmond. Thanks to Eric Zell for all his help making this happen. Overa appreciates the commitment to responsible building right here in our hometown, North Richmond. So thank you for your help. The approvals and permitting, I know it's not easy to make all that happen. Secondly, we want to thank Scannell. We've been having the pleasure of working with you all for over 4 years to get this thing out of the ground to the point where it's at now, and look forward to finishing off with you all and more work to come with Scannell. We appreciate and are aligned with your values. Also, it's great to have another client here, our longest standing client in Chevron. Thank you all for being here and your commitment to California and the county's goals of sustainable building. We're proud to be a part of it. And lastly, I want to thank our craftsmen. So primarily, and I'm going to start with the Overa craftsmen. You know, we have a lot of hard, dedicated people out here. They're putting their sweat into the work to make this happen.
Welcome to the future of what our community is going to look like as we transition to a zero-emission economy with the zero-emission transportation system. And let me first say, come up a little closer. It's okay to get closer here. So welcome to the future. I appreciate working with so many partners and stakeholders in coming to this point today, where this project has the quickest transition to zero emission trucks for warehouses of any project in the country. And I think that deserves recognition because it's about protecting the community here in North Richmond from harmful diesel emissions. It's about moving our transportation system to zero emission. And this project will be 100% union labor. Can't think of a better combination of things for a project. And we're going to hear from labor shortly. You know, while this project may have battery electric, as I understand, the future also has hydrogen fuel cell trucks, and we're going to hear more about that. I had a chance to serve on the State Air Resources Board for 7 years and developing scoping plans about how do we move forward to reduce greenhouse gas emissions here in California and really lead the country. And part of that strategy, a foundation of it, is moving our transportation system to zero emission, where we reduce greenhouse gas emissions and we protect communities from harmful diesel and other types of emissions. And I think this project really does set a model and example for other similar fulfillment centers to follow. And it can also show that this type of project, one, gets community support, gets support from the operator like FedEx, because we worked hard with FedEx to negotiate these land use conditions. And I want to acknowledge our planning department, our public works department. So when this project opens, a third of the fleet of trucks that is based or domiciled at this facility will be zero emission, and they will transition to, within 5 years, 100% zero emission. So in 5 years, 100% of the vehicles here, based here, will be totally non-polluting. And what we're also seeing is these types of vehicles, the life cycle cost of these vehicles as we move forward is actually going to be less than the life cycle cost of a gasoline or diesel internal combustion engine. Because when you look at the fuel and maintenance of these vehicles, of these trucks, over time, it's more cost effective, more cost efficient than a diesel truck. And if we show here in North Richmond and in Contra Costa that this is the future, we will continue to see this adopted elsewhere. We're moving this transition faster than the state because, you know, Richmond and North Richmond are communities that have been impacted by pollution for many years. And I think it is only fair and right and equitable and just for a community like North Richmond to get a new facility that has jobs also be non-polluting. And I want to acknowledge Scannell for really working hard with FedEx, with the county, to get these conditions. It's not often when an environmental group like the Sierra Club will say, hey, the land use conditions that you're placing on the other project, the Centerpoint project and the Scannell project, become models for other parts of the Bay Area and parts of the state. That doesn't happen often because they've seen also the benefit of doing these types of projects. So it's going to put great men and women of labor unions to work to build this project and employ hopefully more Richmond area residents for this type of center. So I think we can congratulate everyone here, your role in getting to this point today. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I thought it made sense for us to come together and to celebrate this type of accomplishment. And I know, again, we're going to hear more about these vehicles. So I want to call up at this point Don Gilmore, who is chair of the North Richmond Municipal Advisory Council and the executive director of a great nonprofit housing developer, Community Housing Development Corporation of North Richmond, because this is really about community. And the community has advocated for these types of projects and controls on projects. And so I want to acknowledge, Don, you know, your role as an advocate in this community, both in leading a great nonprofit and in being the chair of the MAC.
Thank you, John. You know, John and I have been working together for a long time on improving the community and doing local outreach and a lot of efforts. Okay. And so what we really want to do is to thank the partnership, the insight for folks having the understanding of what was the needs out here. And John is championed environmental health and has been a champion of that. And he made a commitment that if we got any more businesses like this, he was going to make sure that they would get to zero emission. He kept his word in doing that. And hopefully this sets the example for more to come. One of the things, I'm not going to talk about what John already talked about, but the process is really important. John makes sure that anybody coming through the community comes to the North Richmond MAC. And we have a chance to look and talk about, you know, what are you doing for the community, right? How does this fit into the total plan of the community, right? Where will you fit in? A lot of times it's about bringing more jobs to the communities. And John has been very, very strong in supporting the North Richmond MAC and having groups come in and commit to a baseline of local employment. And we're taking that to another level. We've just opened up a resource center right down the street. And we want to work with local businesses to get folks ready for these opportunities. And so we welcome a partnership in that nature. We'll be on some of the advisory committees and things of that nature to further impact a community that's definitely impacted by unemployment. They still have those challenges.
Now you're working. We'll do something today.
Yeah, everyone be careful.
Right. Who else is coming up? Jerry, come up.
I got a shovel?
Yeah. Come up, turn a shovel. Anything else here? Where's the else? Yeah, okay, you're here. Okay. Overall's here. Everyone's here. Okay, Jerry. Okay. We're supposed to take a long time to do this so they can take pictures or video, right? So please cut this a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, John? We'll do 1, 2, 3 after they get their cameras ready. Are their cameras ready? Okay. We can do more than once, too, you know? All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right. We're trying to figure out where to do it. Here, all right, hold some dirt. All right. Why don't we all hold some dirt up here? Right. Okay. You've done this before, John. 2 times.